Hello. Let me move this slightly. We're just about to get started, so if we can have everyone gather around and come have a seat, that'd be so great. Yes, there are just a few more seats, so if you guys wanted to come and have a seat, that would be excellent. We're going to get started in a moment. They're kind of moving, but not moving. Hello, good evening, and thank you all for being here. Yes, this is a historic time in our city and in our country. Tonight we're here to unveil a magnificent piece of art that both honors and supports another step of diversity, inclusion, and education for our community. We'll start tonight. Oh, thank you. We'll start tonight by Miss Yarissa Milan, who will sing the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. Yarissa? Okay. Let's give her a round of applause, everyone.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Thank you. Thank you, Yarissa, for sharing your beautiful gifts for the evening. That was beautiful. That was so beautiful. Now we would like to take a moment to recognize members of our city council and city management that are in attendance. There's Councilwoman Clarissa Cervantes. Mayor Pro Tem Gabby Placencia. Lizeth Vega, representing Councilman Hemingway. And City Manager Al Zelinka. Okay. Councilwoman Erin Edwards would have loved to have been here tonight, but she was able to stop by the mural site a couple weeks ago, and we appreciate her being there. Okay. So this Rise mural has been a beautiful experience and journey. I did not know when Aaron Marfkani sent me a message on Facebook Messenger last year that we would end up here today. But joining Rochelle and Aaron last year in the midst of protests and an unprecedented pandemic, we began a journey of something really beautiful. I decided to take part in honoring George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Elijah McClain, and Breonna Taylor as a personal acknowledgement of what was happening in the world to explain the depths, right, to our children. But I knew that we could participate in the creation of this mural, and we created this in part in honoring Black excellence in its many walks of life, as well as being able to promote diversity, equity, inclusion, and representation. I'm happy to know that the city came to support our endeavors, and being able to work on this beautiful art piece as a first-time artist for myself, my children, and many of the other artists who participated with us. It was extraordinarily amazing, and I'm just very happy that you are all here to be able to see the unveiling today. All right, so please welcome Rochelle Kanansar, followed by Erin Mavkani. We ran through that thing. Ready?
Thank you, Shay. Thank you all so much for being here. Words cannot express the amount of love and gratitude I have for my city, my community, my friends, my family, for their love and support. I've lived my entire life in this city. My late grandfather and I would take the bus to City Hall and eat ice cream right over there by the fountain while throwing pennies in and making wishes. I could have never imagined this moment and this day. It is truly surreal. The murder of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and countless other African Americans inspired millions around the globe to protest and have conversations about racism in America. This project was inspired not just by the movement and the brave souls who fueled it, but our lived experiences as members of this community. I have an 11-year-old daughter named Edison, and she is bright, witty, and kind. Her smile is infectious, and to know her is to be utterly obsessed with her. However, being a parent of a child of color, I knew it was inevitable that one day someone was going to see her and see her blackness as a deficit and tell her in the most unkind way. So my husband and I did the best that we could to prepare her for that moment. But when those words were spoken to her on that day in 2019, they cut her, and she cried because she was hurt. And as much as I would have liked to believe that living in Riverside would provide her with a protective cocoon against people and words that hurt and cut, it didn't. Because I was 5 when I heard a word that cut. So I shared her story and mine in hopes that in doing so, my community that I love would understand and see just what racism looks and feels like. And Erin, you heard my cry and felt my pain as my friend and as my mother to mother. And you did all that you could to show Edison and all the people of Riverside just how beautiful Black is. This mural celebrates Black lives, dreams, families, struggles, history, and hope. Everyone who put their hands on this mural also put their hearts in this mural. And for that I am forever indebted. As Edison's parents, I believe it is my and my husband's sole responsibility to make sure that our daughter understands and knows just how valuable and significant she is. And I now realize more than ever that this responsibility cannot and should not rest on our shoulders alone. Edison, through sharing your story, I was able to see every member of your village. They stood up and they stood out. And I'm here to tell you that your village is large and it is strong. It has been said that the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. However, it is the unreasonable one who persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. This mural in this city is progress. Thank you, Aaron, Shay, all of the artists, the city that I love, Riverside, and everyone here for being unreasonable. Thank you.
Thank you, Rochelle, for sharing that beautiful testimony. And Edison, yes, girl, your village is very strong. I would like to bring up our designer and creator and the person who brought all of this together, Erin Marvkani. Where is she? Yes.
Good evening, Riverside. Good evening, honored guests, friends, family, organizers, and artists, our amazing installation crew. I look out and I see a sea of love. This is Riverside. My name is Erin Marvkani, and I am one of the co-organizers and artists who created Riverside's Rise Mosaic mural. I am a mom, a wife, a daughter, a sister, a middle school teacher, and a community artist. I grew up here in Riverside. This is my home, and you are my community. It is my honor tonight to speak on behalf of our collaborative community mural. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." This project began over a year ago with a conversation with my friend and mentor, Rochelle Knatzar. We talked about the racism her 10-year-old daughter, Edison, had painfully experienced. We talked about injustice, respect, and dignity, and representation of our Black brothers and sisters within our own community of Riverside, our country, and in the world. Shay Tracy soon joined this conversation, and we three have not stopped talking, organizing, and creating for our community. I want to thank our co-creators, Rochelle and Shay, for everything. Your wisdom, your strength, your determination, your love, and everything that you brought to organizing and creating this mural. Before we even began designing this work collectively, we asked Rochelle's daughter, Edison, to choose one poem to inspire the mural. She chose Maya Angelou's "And Still I Rise," which became our anthem. So mosaic art is my passion. It is something that I love and I will never stop doing. And our goal was to create something beautiful, a mosaic of ideas. We constructed a proposal which highlighted Black beauty, excellence, perseverance, and resilience. The Rise Mosaic mural features 32 Black individuals who have changed the world through their life stories as artists, as poets, as writers, and fighters for social justice. Some of the stories we all know well, and some stories have long been untold. In the words of Ida B. Wells, the way to right wrongs is to shine the light of truth on them. These are the individuals depicted in the mural: Rosa Parks, Kamala Harris, Dr. Angela Davis, Shirley Chisholm, Tor Campbell, Langston Hughes, Malcolm X, Thurgood Marshall, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., George Floyd, Claude McKay, Ahmaud Arbery, Dr. Huey P. Newton, Zora Neale Hurston, Emmett Till, Medgar Evers, Edison Knatzar, Ruby Bridges, Breonna Taylor, Elijah McClain, Marsha P. Johnson, Maya Angelou, Fannie Lou Hamer, Nelson Mandela, Bobby Seale, Claudette Colvin, John Lewis, Jean-Michel Basquiat, Amanda Gorman, James Baldwin, and 2 protesters. Shining their light and creativity upon this project, this collaboration could not have happened without the 14 dedicated artists who assembled together thousands and thousands of pieces of tile over 7 months. I want to give a special thanks to my parents, Kathy and Greg Maxwell, whose dedication to the creation Their dedication inspires me on a daily basis, and it is because of their extraordinary help with the creation and installation that we were able to complete this mural. Now, due to COVID-19, we artists could not collaborate like we love to do in person, and we couldn't teach, so our 14 artists were given a box of mosaic materials and a couple of YouTube tutorials to create their portraits in their own home studios. Many of the artists volunteered after one portrait to create many more. Tonight, I would love to honor these artists and organizers by inviting them up to the stage to be recognized by their community. And artists, please stay for a photo before you go back to your seats. So please welcome Adiola Davies Ayaloja. Keandra Jimenez. Rochelle Kanatsar. Kathy Maxwell. Greg Maxwell. Edie Motley. Shay Tracy. The following artists are not present tonight, but I would love to read their names. Jane Brinkley. Zidel Brinkley. Cynthia Huerta. Piper Murphy. Shaniqua Piper. And Layla A. Victorin. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight as we unveil our collaborative community mural, Rise.
Again, can we have a round of applause for the artists that were able to contribute? So thank you to each of these artists and to the City of Riverside for helping to put this project together. Now I would like to invite our Mayor Pro Tem, Gabby Placencia, to the podium to say a few words.
A little short, so I'm going to move this. Hi. So first I'd like to say that the mayor sends her regrets. She is held up at another meeting, but her loss is my gain. I'm so honored to be here and now I will stick to the notes because then I get in trouble if I don't. So, I'm glad to be here today to celebrate this unveiling. It's such an honor. A year ago today, the idea of a mural was brought to the city staff. Immediately, we saw the value and importance of this artwork and this moment. As a city of considerable racial, ethnic, religious, and other types of diversity, Riverside has etched a complex history. That history included both significant efforts to achieve greater justice, equality, and understanding, as well as unfortunate periods and events that have demonstrated the need for increased commitment, ideas, and action to work towards these goals. This is a step to work towards these goals. It is not lost on me that this mural is a celebration, a commitment, an education of hope, understanding, history, and the stories of individuals, not only of the people in the mural, but the people who made this mural. Edison, Aaron, Rochelle, Shea, and all of the artists who are willing to move beyond words to action, walking the walk of inclusiveness. They knew these stories could help our community listen and learn from others, to show the sincere respect for individuals and groups. They knew this learning will necessarily be lifelong and have created curriculum and information for residents and visitors to learn. They knew this learning will require ongoing dialogue in which we should strive for openness and honesty. Thank you, Aaron, Edison, Rochelle, and Shea, and all of the artists for creating this gift for our city, our residents, and our visitors. This Rise mural means that all of us as individuals can learn continuously about our differences while also seeking common ground based on our similarities, our linked goals, and our commitment to the best in basic human and American values. Most importantly, hope and respect. Thank you so much for your contributions, and I'm so honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, and thank you again. Thank you all for being here tonight. Our final speaker this evening will be Edison Kanatsar, who will read the poem, Still I Rise. After the completion of the poem, please follow the city staff and make your way to the mural site for the unveiling. You ready?
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of the tides. Just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes? Shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard. 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air, I'll rise. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of a slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
think we just switched the camera too. Well, hold on. Yeah.
Crystal. Okay, let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.